Is this truly worth the price tag? Welcome back to another episode of A Vision Experiment with me, Ty, and we are going to be looking at all things Apple Vision Pro, from applications to accessories and more about spatial computing. But in this episode, if you've clicked on the link, you will know that we're talking about protection. This is a very expensive piece of hardware, and you do not want to break it. You do not want to drop it. You want to protect it. You want to make sure it's well looked after. And the offerings out there are very slim. So what are the biggest things that you will see when you walk into an Apple store or you go on the Apple website for Vision accessories is the Apple official Vision Pro case. But there's a big elephant in the room, the price. It's extremely expensive. And I'm here to give you my honest opinion about whether this is truly worth the price tag. So yeah, this is the Apple Vision Pro official Apple case. And some of the things that I've noticed about this case particularly is its design aesthetic. One of the main features of this case is that it's got an extremely interesting design from a protection standpoint. Both sides of this particular case has what I can only describe as a very padded feel to it. It's almost like it's got air inside it and almost like foam padding. Now that is something that I've never seen on a case in all of my years in this world of XR. And it really drew me to the case when I first saw it available. The key to any protective case has to be the amount of layering and padding that the particular case has to ensure you know that your headset inside is not going to be moving around, it's not going to be shaken to bits, and it's going to be held tight inside. And from the outside appearance, the only thing that I thought was really un-Apple-like was the creases. There's a lot of crinkles and creases in this case, which shocked me because you always assume that Apple's aesthetic is very clean and crisp, and you know, it doesn't surprise me that it's white, which in all honesty, we know it's not going to stay white forever if you're going to be traveling around with this thing. The reality is that anything white gets dirty, and it gets dirty quick. That was one thing that I wasn't particularly surprised about the color, but thinking about it logically, they could have done other colors, and who knows, maybe they will do in the future. Another thing that I really love about this case is the fact that they've actually branded it with the Apple logo and Vision Pro branding, which screams official. It is an official product. Now, it doesn't mean it can't be counterfeited, and I do not condone counterfeiting at all. But what I will say is that you can genuinely sort of tell instantly that this is something premium. And you just know that there's been some serious engineering gone into this case. The next thing on the outside of the case that you can see is this really large handle, and it does extend out. And the one thing that I actually noticed more close up once I purchased this, and I bought this with my own money, nobody paid for this on my behalf or sent this to me for free. I wish they did, but unfortunately all my own money, is that the handle actually has an interesting amount of padding around the center portion of it, mainly the area where you would probably pick it up. And as it kind of tapers off down the edges, there isn't any padding anymore. So padding on the kind of center part of the handle, and it does extend and retract, which is really, really clever in its design. And I just think actually a lot of people have given this a bit of a bad rep because they think it's really big. But honestly, compared to other cases that I've seen for other headsets like the Quest Pro and even the Quest 2s and 3s, this case isn't big. I promise you, this case is actually really neat and compact, and it feels quality. It feels sturdy. That is the one thing that I can say just from the outside. You've then got two zips that then undo the main body of the case. Now, this is one gripe that I do have about this case, is that it is pretty tricky to pull this round, and you do feel like you've got to give it a really strong tug all the way around to get it undone. And just things from my past of unzipping things and being a little bit rough, maybe, I feel like it's going to kind of get caught on the material, but it doesn't, and it is obviously Apple engineered. So, you know, it opens, but you've definitely got to give it a good pull around, and that's probably a good thing, because it means it's not going to undo itself. It's not going to easily get pulled undone, and then your headset that costs over $3,500 pounds plus is going to fall on the floor and smash into pieces. So there is a bonus there with, if it is stiff, you've got to try and give it a bit more of a forceful undo. But if it was too easy to undo, there's a good chance you may lose your headset. So let's get inside. So this is what the inside of the official Apple case looks like. You've got something that I can only describe as an incredibly thick inside shell. It's definitely not thin, and it's like a suede-esque material that lines the entire inside of the case. It screams premium. It's really, really high quality, and it's got obviously the outer layer that's got some cushioning, and then you've got the inside layer that has what I can only describe as contouring for not only for your Apple Vision Pro, but also for the battery. There's a very slight indentation around where the battery will go on the inside of here. There's a very, very strong, robust Velcro strap to hold in the battery and make sure that it is well tied in. And I'll demonstrate how that works for it being neat and tidily packaged. And on this side is for your Vision Pro. And some people might be wondering what this is. And in all honesty, the minute I saw it, I was just like, that is genius. Apple have come up with a way to protect the lenses and ensure that it is very well, shall we say, held on the inside of this case. So if I lift this up here and we'll do a close-up, you'll be able to see that there is a Velcro sort of pull tab on the inside of here. And that pull tab allows you to move what I see here as the lens protectors. So what that does is it allows you to release the lens protector, which is a very solid sort of suede lined plastic, I believe, or some kind of hard shell. So you lift the tab up from the lens protector, you can slide that back, and that gives you that little bit of extra room to be able to place in the Vision Pro and then push it forwards and then lock it in place with the Velcro tab so that it isn't going to move around. It's going to be very well protected, held, and your lenses that are the most precious part of the entire thing, bar the camera pass-through array that you need to protect, are protected, which is incredible and definitely gives me a better feeling about how much it cost. So the next thing that you get inside the official Apple case is this, and this is kind of basically like a little sort of, it's a soft little case made out of the same material as the outside of the main case. There's a little bit of that sort of suede-esque lining on the inside, and I've brought some accessories to put inside it. I've got my charge brick, I've got an air tag, I've got my cables, I've got my slightly more padded interface, I've got my dual loop band, I've got a lightning cable, just in case, you never know, maybe for my my older AirPod Pros. And that is it. Like, I could still get more in here. I think actually I've got my Apple Vision official cleaning cloth, which I could put in there, give it a little fold and open it up, put it inside. And yeah, so you've got all your accessories protected inside this nice little bag that comes inside. It's a nice touch. You could tie it up if you don't want anything to definitely fall out, but it's a drawstring design So as you open it up, you've got 2 drawstrings either side, give it a really tight pull, and that is all your accessories kept inside. Next up is how to put your Vision Pro inside. Now it probably sounds very self-explanatory, but let's just do it anyway. So firstly, I'm going to put my Apple Vision Pro front lens protector back onto the headset. That is one element of the way that it stays inside the case, very neat and tidy, and again protects that front part of the actual headset itself. Something that comes with the headset if you weren't aware anyway, and fits very well inside the case with that contouring that I showed you before. So what we'll do is we'll take that out and we're going to lift that area up that I told you about that slides back, and then we'll lock that in. We'll put the Vision Pro inside, and then I'm going to lift that tab up. I'm going to push the lens protector into place. Now that is pretty locked in now. It's pretty solid in there. It's you know, I could pull it out if I wanted to, but it doesn't feel like it's going to completely fall out. It's not that easy to fall out. And yeah, that is now locked in place, and you can then just put your accessories in the void just behind it. Now to put the battery inside. So again, you've got a little area with a pull tab, Velcro pull tab, that is looped through the actual body of the shell, which it looks like it's, you know, very well sort of designed and held in. We're going to place the main battery into that kind of recessed, indented area, and then per the instructions that I've seen, you are then supposed to fold the cable up very gently, kind of looping back and forth until you have something that kind of looks a little bit like this. Gather it all together, and then you literally pull the tab tightly, slot the cable end of the battery into a little recess that is sort of a piece of plastic that kind of sticks up through the actual main lining, and you can't go wrong fitting it inside. Pull that nice and tight, and then what you do is you then lay this bunched cable into the kind of gap on the side of the pull tab and just stretch it over and Velcro it in, and that's what you get. As you can see here, you've now got your battery really well secured, you've got your cable nice and neat and tidy, and now you can literally just close up the case, zip it up, and that is the Apple Vision Pro official case. This case starts at £199 or $199 if you're in America. Other prices in other countries, I'm not quite so sure. But what I'm going to say is my honest and open opinion about this case. This case probably is worth maybe about £100, £120 all in all. But what you would get from this case is massive amounts of protection. Obviously that Apple engineering and design aesthetic. And like with a lot of things in life, there are things that are just a t-shirt, just a pair of jeans, just another thing, but based on the brand that made it determines how much the price of that thing is. And you either take it or you leave it. On this channel, we'll hopefully be reviewing some more cases from some other brand manufacturers. But so many people will say that this case is not worth the money. In my eyes, I love it. I think the design of it is stunning. I think the overall thought that has gone into this case is way and above any case that I've ever had for any headset that I've ever owned. And so, to be totally truthful, I wanted this case before I even got a Vision Pro. And that is the honest truth. You have to decide whether your expensive Vision Pro is worth putting into a case that doesn't maybe have the same levels of protection and security. That in mind, it doesn't mean that other brands can't make something that has just as good a protection at a lesser price. It is your choice, your decision, and all I can say is that I love mine, and hopefully if you pick one up in the near future, you may love it as well. Thank you for watching this video about the Apple Vision Pro official case. It is a great case. It is very expensive, but you need to decide how you're going to look after your Apple Vision Pro. Are you going to just carry it in your bag, which would scare me? Or are you going to get a specific case from a specific brand for this amazing product? Overall, they have created an accessory that is bar none one of the best ones I've seen, and there are more in the future that we will have a look at. Thanks for watching this video about this case, and I will see you for more accessory videos about Apple Vision Pro really soon.